guys, welcome back to another video. So I just want to say a quick disclaimer. I look a little crazy today. I completely forgot I was going to film, so I kind of threw this together and I don't have any real sunlight since it's overcast, so we're gonna make do with what we have. So today we are talking about the keto diet. So I have a bone to pick with every single kind of diet unless you require it for sport, or of course you are like a diabetic, or even if you have a wedding coming up and you want to like trim down or bulk up, like that's fine. I just don't like especially long-term diets. They make me want to pull my hair out of my head multiple times. So let's get into why these can be a little dangerous. The first one that I think is one of the most obvious ones, but a lot of people don't know, any diet you start has to end, right? Like, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that pretty much any diet you start, it has to end, unless of course you change your diet to being vegan, but that's a lifestyle choice, right? So whatever results you get from that diet will diminish once you go back to normal eating. That could be because you had a really bad, you had terrible eating habits prior, or maybe you had really good eating habits but you dropped your calories so it went back up to your normal calorie. It's just, you're going to gain that weight back. That's like the biggest given. Or you're going to lose that weight. That one isn't so much life-threatening or anything, that's crazy, but that's just something that you really need to consider when you start a diet of any sort. This one is one that makes me want to scream for so many reasons. The keto diet requires you to drop your carbohydrate amount, right? That was a terrible way of putting it, but you get what I'm saying. So it requires you to be, it says 20 to 50 carbohydrates a day. One average sized banana is 27 carbohydrates. So, yeah, you guys really think that you're gonna be doing stuff with that? So I can see how a lot of people would disregard that comment and think, well, I don't even eat bananas, or I don't mind giving up bread. Okay, let me further explain why carbohydrates are so incredibly important. Think of yourself as a car, and your protein is your oil, extremely important. Your coolant is, we'll say your coolant is your fat, and your fuel is carbohydrates. That is what gives your body energy. The whole process of your body digesting food and you exercising is kind of a thing called energy in, energy out, and so eating is your energy in, and exercising or moving or fidgeting is energy out. So carbohydrates and fats, but mainly carbohydrates, is what gives you energy to do what I'm doing right now. I'm moving, I'm talking, I'm breathing, I'm blinking. That's what your body runs on, is carbohydrates. So when you take away your body's biggest fuel, how is your body supposed to function? Well, you have to up your fats and you have to up your proteins. And sure, those are energy sources, not so much protein. Fat is a energy source, but your main source of energy and being able to do all the things you love to do in life, it comes from carbohydrates. That includes exercise. Look at people that run marathons, right? They carb up before they run because they burn so many calories and they're burning so many different things that you have to carb up. Okay, I'm just popping in really quick because I didn't explain that well enough. I'm on my really crappy iPod camera, and I'm just trying to explain this because this is poorly explained. So when runners get ready to run, they know that they're going to be burning a lot of different things, right? Mainly carbohydrates, which is their fuel. So carbing up is essentially where they just eat a lot of different complex, healthy carbs, so that way they can run longer. The more you carb up, the longer you can run theoretically. Something that people may not know is that carbohydrates, when they're broken down into your body, it breaks down to a thing called glucose. And guess what your brain runs on? Glucose. Your brain runs on glucose. So, I don't know, maybe it's just more obvious to me or maybe, you know, it's just people disregard it and they think it's not important, but I can assure you that carbohydrates are extremely important, and you should definitely be having more than 20 to 50. I think babies even require more than 20 to 50 carbohydrates. Something that a lot of people don't even think about is the fact that they're upping their fat intake. And they're upping their fat intake to a very unhealthy amount. As I said before, your carbs and your fats are think about, and this is a very simplified way of thinking about this, but if you're wanting to lose weight, right, you wouldn't think to up your fats. That's not a macronutrient that people really think about, is, you know, their fats. People typically don't sit down and think about that. They think about their proteins, they think about their carbohydrates, and maybe, you know, something else. But people don't think about their fats as often. Your body requires less fat than it requires carbohydrates. It is true that both of them are broken down into glucose, which is essentially what your body runs on to, when you really zoom out and that functions at all, right? And you're thinking about losing weight. So that's essentially losing fat, typically is what people want to lose. Why are you upping your fat intake? That's my biggest question. In order to get into ketosis, I believe you do have to have some sort of fat with every meal as well. So I don't understand why you'd want to do that. I wanted to do a bit more research and just make sure that I'm not biased, or if I'm just looking at this too scientifically. So I know that all bodies work differently, and so maybe this is very good for certain people. I looked on, I believe it was Harvard, and I will put a link down below. I looked at Harvard's website, and these are all the things that you could be at risk for, and I'll try to explain them. Nutritional deficiency. Number one is, which is essentially you're not getting enough nutrition, which is essentially you're starving yourself. That just doesn't sound good, right? Nutritional deficiency can lead to metabolic damage. I have talked about this before. I will probably have a whole video on this as to how dangerous this can be, but it can lead to metabolic damage, and that can just mess you up in so many different ways. You do not want to mess with your RMR, or your resting metabolic rate. That is what keeps your body doing all of its functions that it's doing right now. So I'll get into a whole video on metabolic damage later, so maybe it would take years for somebody to get metabolic damage or liver damage or something like that, liver failure I mean to say. It might take somebody longer, but it could take you shorter amount of time. Think about that. Think about your body. Everybody metabolizes things differently. Everybody's bodies react to antibiotics differently. Everything. Every single person's body reacts in different ways. And so I do think it's good to, you know, test out some things, and maybe, as I said, if you're doing things really, really short term, then I can't complain with that, so long as you transition back into a healthier way of eating. But it's so incredibly dangerous, guys. I'm gonna go on to number 3, kidney problems. Number 4, constipation, and number 5, mood swings. And with these mood swings, the reason that they were having them was they were in a brain fog because they did not have enough carbohydrates, which is glucose, which runs your brain. They were in a brain fog. They weren't decisions. They felt like they were dizzy. These are just all things that make me so nervous whenever people say they're going keto, because another thing, and this is one I didn't even write down, is there's not even a guarantee you can get into ketosis. You can push your body and strip away its nutrients as much as you want, but there's no guarantee that you will hit ketosis. There's no scientific evidence that you will. So think about that one too. Another point I just want to make is there is no quick fix. I know I said, you know, doing some diet short term can be beneficial, if it's for especially an aesthetic. I'll make this disclaimer one more time, you know, that's fine. You're a bodybuilder, or you're training for a triathlon or a marathon or some, you know, there's specific cases in which you have to strip your diet of certain things, or you have to cut, or whatever it is. But typically those people are under the supervision of a registered dietitian, or at least someone who knows what they're talking about. So when people are just in their home saying, I'm gonna do a juice cleanse for 3 months, oh, no, 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 please don't. Unless you have talked to a registered dietitian, or unless you've talked to a nutritional coach, a nutritionist, whatever you want to say, please just be advised. But going further into my point about there is no quick fix, what I mean by that is like I said before, once you're done with that diet, you're gonna gain it all back, maybe even more, or maybe not as much. But it's not gonna stay the same. Your body isn't gonna function the same way. And why risk it all? Why risk, why risk metabolic damage, liver failure, kidney problems, constipation, mood swing? Why risk all of that for an aesthetic? Or, to look good. I cannot with this diet. It makes me so angry, so angry. This is the one I am most angry with, because to me it's the most obviously dangerous one. But my last point people is
out there
still
doing
doing
it.
lifestyle is far superior. That's why I get so upset. If you eat balanced meals every day, and you take care of your body, and that's, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, all of that, and you're living a healthy lifestyle. With a healthy that's lifestyle, all there that is matters. balance. You're allowed to go have a piece of sourdough toast if that's what you want, lit. A healthy lifestyle can lead to so many amazing things in life. One of them would be living longer. Another one would be less health problems. You can live a long time. You don't have to worry about, liver failure or kidney failure or stuff like that. Just live a balanced lifestyle. One day you might have a whole crazy cheat day. Because you were craving it, and you just thought, you know what, I've been treating my body well, I might as well. And the next day you might go back and all of the fun, healthy foods. It's just a balance. And so, long story short, please do not do the keto diet. There are probably 20 million other reasons why you shouldn't, but I hope that you saw this video and you stopped, because it is not a safe diet. It is one of the deadliest diets I've seen. And I would just like to encourage you not to do it. But anyway, I hope that was somewhat informational. I hope I wasn't all over the place. I hope that you don't try to start taking care of your body without having to do a diet. Start eating some more veggies, some more fruits. To live a balanced life. So anyway guys, like I said, I hope that inspired you. I hope you have a very good day. If you would like to hit the like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I do a lot of nutrition videos right now, and soon I'll be doing a lot of personal training videos. I might be doing some homemaking videos, and maybe some religious videos too.